A story of pain, pressure and perseverance in a cold but life-changing country. I still remember the first step I took outside Heathrow Airport. The air felt heavy, the cold sliced through my jacket. I looked around at a city I'd only seen in YouTube videos, red buses, people walking fast, and buildings that touched the grey sky. I thought to myself, this is it, the beginning of everything. But what I didn't know was, beginnings often come wrapped in silence. There was no one waiting for me, just a cold bench at a train station, a crumpled piece of paper with an address, and a suitcase that carried more hopes than clothes. I smiled anyway, because I believed, like many do, that life in the UK would change everything. But the UK doesn't give you anything. It teaches you how to earn it. The house I moved into was small, shared with 6 others, and colder inside than outside. The walls were damp, the fridge was almost always empty, and the silence in that room was louder than traffic outside. I applied for jobs everywhere. Grocery stores, warehouses, petrol stations. Every time I opened my inbox, another rejection was waiting. Every "we regret to inform you" chipped away at my confidence. I walked in the rain for interviews, wore second-hand clothes to save money, and sometimes skipped meals to send something back home. There were nights I cried, not because I wanted to give up, but because I felt invisible, like no one here even knew I existed. And yet, every morning, I woke up, I showed up, because I didn't come here to quit. Winter turned into spring, and something inside me changed. I stopped blaming the system, stopped waiting for someone to rescue me. I realised no one was coming. So I started showing up differently. I watched videos on how to speak better English. I learned how to write a better CV. I practiced in front of the mirror how to answer interview questions. I stopped just surviving. I started improving. I got a part-time job stocking shelves. It paid just enough to breathe, but that paycheck felt like a trophy. Because it wasn't just money, it was proof that I was no longer sitting still. With time, I moved out of the shared house, got a small room of my own, learned how to cook for myself, began calling my mother without crying. There were still struggles, but now I faced them with a different kind of strength. Not loud strength, not the kind you post on Instagram, but silent strength, the kind you build inside when no one is clapping for you. I started waking up at 6 a.m, reading books I never thought I'd read, saving a little, planning more, and most of all, believing again. One day I received an email I didn't expect. A warehouse manager position had opened, and they wanted me. Not because I was lucky, because I had worked, stayed, improved, and waited. That promotion changed my income, but more than that, it changed my identity. I was no longer just another immigrant. I had a name, a voice, a purpose. I bought my first used car, took a day off to visit the city I now called home, and for the first time, I looked at London not with fear, but with quiet pride. People say, "You're lucky to be in the UK," and maybe I am. But what they don't see is the cold mornings, the missed family weddings, the lonely Eid nights, and the silent sacrifices made behind closed doors. The UK didn't change my life overnight. It broke me, shaped me, and rebuilt me into someone I never knew I could be. If you're in a place where it feels like no one sees you, like your efforts aren't working, like you've come too far to go back, but haven't come far enough to see the change, then this story is for you. The journey may be hard, but it's building someone you'll one day thank. Like this video if you believe pain has purpose. Subscribe for more real stories from real life.